Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Ken, and today we're here to review M3GAN 2.0.
That's right. Hold on to your vaginas.
Oh my goodness. Wait a second. I don't have one of those.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's
well, look.
good, I think.
Anyway, we're here today to talk about M3GAN 2.0. We actually went to the theaters to see this one.
We did. We went to a late for us, 9:30 p.m.
That's pretty late.
Showing on a Saturday with our kids.
Yeah, we took the kids. It was
we're
a
that
family
cool.
event. We didn't go see How to Train Your Dragon, but we took them to see M3GAN 2.0.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to be talking about that here today, breaking it down. You know, M3GAN 2.0 is a cinematic achievement on every level, so there's a lot to get into. But before we get into it, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We talk about movies and TV and entertainment news here on this channel as a married couple.
Yeah, we also do some like vlog style videos.
We do. We dropped one of those over the weekend. We went to Barnes & Noble hunting for movies and books and all that kind of stuff. So hit the subscribe button. Also,
like this video.
Like the video like she said. And then leave us a comment down below. Did you go see M3GAN 2.0 in the theater this weekend? It didn't do well, did it?
I don't think so.
I don't imagine too many people went out to see it. But all right, let's get into this. M3GAN is back. And
yeah, so I'll just go off. I'll just kind of start with the first one.
Yeah.
We saw that one in theater as well, and I actually really enjoyed it.
The first one's fun. You know, it's got a nice, child's play kind of killer doll kind of tone to it, but it's definitely pretty goofy as well. I feel like it felt like a cross between Child's Play and the Terminator.
You think?
Me.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed the first one. I will say though, like giving it a rewatch, I didn't enjoy it as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a fun theater experience. I'll leave it at that. And so this one, whenever we got the preview for it, like I was looking forward to another M3GAN movie for sure. They definitely kind of ended the first one, implying that there could be another one.
And the first one did very well in the theater. So, usually with horror, something does well, they'll rush the sequel.
Yeah. So I was looking forward to another one, but then when we got a teaser and a trailer, I kind of quickly realized that they were kind of going for a different approach. Yeah,
well, just going off of, my comparison to Terminator, in Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger is the bad guy. And then in the second one, there's a greater threat that comes in that makes him the good guy, which is what they're doing here. So I feel like they're trying to do that. Whereas like the first Terminator is more like horror slasher, and then the second film's more like action sci-fi, just not on an as grand of a scale. So this is not unheard of to go from like horror to more like sci-fi action. Alien kind of did it as well.
Yeah. I don't really know much about Terminator movies.
Yeah.
I've seen, little bits here and there. I know the gist of it, I guess. But this movie It wasn't bad.
Is what it was.
It was. It wasn't bad. I do definitely think there were some, enjoyable aspects to the movie. Like always, it was too long. It was, 2 hours, and I just feel like that's too long for this kind of movie.
There's just too much. There's not a need for this much story in this type of movie. There's too much story. They get into like double cross and triple cross and kind of stuff, and
a lot of plot.
If M3GAN 2.0 becomes like too hard to follow, like you're doing it wrong. Mm-hmm. Not that I didn't understand kind of the gist of what was going on,
a little
but
slow.
It just gets a little bit too up its own butt.
Yeah.
With the plot. And it's like, you're M3GAN 2.0. You set up this new robot.
Like maybe
it's a greater threat. You got to bring M3GAN in to take out this robot. Like, at the end of story.
Like maybe a little too serious of a plot for this movie.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I will say, I don't think this gives it away, but like you said, there is a bigger threat in this movie. And so basically they have to use M3GAN to help take this bigger threat down. And so I will say that I quite enjoyed the new, robot or AI that got introduced. I feel like that actress did a good job playing that.
Yeah, she really looks like Elizabeth Olsen, a little bit Scarlet
Yeah, I see
Witch,
some
a little bit.
similarities, yeah.
I knew it wasn't her, but there
Our
was
son
definitely
actually
similarities
asked
there.
if it
Yeah,
was.
he asked if it was.
He was like, "Is that Scarlet Witch?" And we're like, "No," but
Yeah, I thought she did a good job as well. I mean, she honestly reminded me of, I know you haven't seen it, but Alita Battle Angel.
I've heard of it though. Yeah, I've seen like the cover and stuff.
Yeah, it was a movie. It was based on a anime, but it came out in theaters as a movie a few years ago.
Yeah, I thought she did good. I really enjoyed the girl versus girl like fighting. I felt like the fighting was good.
There's some solid action.
Yeah,
It's not lighting the world on fire as far as like the standards for sci-fi action, but it's good for this movie. I enjoyed it. I feel like the movie's getting backlash because people did not want
it to take this direction.
M3GAN to go in this direction.
Yeah.
I think the tone is largely the same.
I do too, actually. Yeah,
I think it's very similar tone. They just shifted genres, but the tone is like very similar.
Yeah, I know people were disappointed that there wasn't as much horror, element to it.
Yeah.
And, I would agree. I did like that to be a part of it, but again, they just wanted to do something different. And so.
But, I mean, you can't argue with the people and their reception because this movie is kind of tanking at the box office. I mean, I don't know what the budget was, but I think it only made $10 million this weekend.
Yeah.
As opposed to $30 million for the first one.
Right.
So you can't really argue that I think they went in the wrong direction, honestly. Like they should have leaned maybe more into the horror stuff.
Right.
And then if they wanted to try something weird with a third one, maybe done that. But I think they got in their own head. They're like, oh, we're going to make this like a Terminator 2, like an Aliens kind of thing, genre shift. And that's kind of what led to it.
It's kind of interesting because, with the first one, they did have the horror elements in there. And then, they even ended up releasing like an unrated version or uncut version or what was it?
They did. It was on Peacock.
So it's kind of interesting that even after doing that, I feel like that kind of made people think like, okay, they're going to go more for horror maybe in the future.
That could have something to do with the theatrical release not doing as well on the theatrical release because I think they released that like maybe 2 or 3 weeks after the movie came out in theaters. So I kind of think people are expecting this to come to streaming within the next like few weeks and maybe it'll get like some kind of different cut like that one did.
Yeah,
because people were complaining that the better cut was on streaming just a few weeks after they paid to see it in theaters.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, do I feel like it was worth going to the theater to see? Not really.
Yeah.
Again,
there's some cool visuals though here and there, but
it
takes a while. Like I don't want to spoil anything, but it takes a while to get to M3GAN.
It really does. I mean, I feel like we were like at least halfway into the movie.
Yeah.
You get her in other ways, I think, right?
Yeah.
But as far as I don't know. I think from the trailer. Like as far as like having M3GAN in her physical body, it's like at least halfway into the movie or something.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Yeah. So as far as all the people in the movie, I feel like they're fine. You've got the aunt and how she's taken over caring
Allison
for her.
Williams.
Yeah, you've got she's taking care of her niece or whatever. I think that girl is good too. She's kind of grown up a little bit since the last one.
Yeah.
She's more kind of in her teenage age now. A little rebellious,
Yeah.
Because she was starting to form like this relationship with M3GAN in the first one, and so she's kind of going through this I miss M3GAN kind of phase, but also she betrayed us and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't know.
I think they did a good job too, just their relationship kind of building upon that from the first one as well, between Allison Williams and the little girl. And
see, I feel like there wasn't really much progress between the two of them and their relationship. I feel like it was kind of strained in the beginning, and it seemed like they still weren't meeting eye to eye. Like the aunt was still kind of being overbearing and everything. I don't know, but
I mean, that's fair. And they had a lot of time to focus on it because you really are just with them and a couple other characters like the first half of the movie.
Yeah. What did you think about their take on, like, I feel like they, like, a bigger part of this movie was kind of talking about the negative effects of, AI and stuff.
Yeah, negative effects of.
I feel like that was
not only AI, but just like technology in general, I guess. And,
I feel like that was like a pretty big plot of the movie.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
But so I thought that was kind of relevant, I feel
and it was playing off the first one. I think they dove into that kind of stuff in the first one too.
Yeah. Well, I think the aunt has always kind of, even though she like works in the technology field, she's always been kind of less is better as far as being on, like, depending on technology and all that kind of stuff. Overall, I feel like it was fun. I think that because it was 2 hours, it took a little bit of it away for me.
Yeah. I mean, they did too much stuff that I don't feel like they had to do. I mean, in the first half, like, there's a lot of stuff that is kind of will remind you of like a Mission Impossible film. There's like actual like spy espionage like mission type things that occur.
And they just do a little too much with that.
It's too much. Like, I can completely understand somebody like just not being into this at all. Me, like, I mean, if you saw the trailer, like, you know exactly what to expect. So I was just hoping that it was fun, and I feel like overall it was kind of fun, and I had a good time. But
we'll just end it on this, unless you have something else you want to talk about. But as far as M3GAN herself, what did you think about her? Did you enjoy her character? Or?
Yeah, I enjoy M3GAN. She's got some. I don't feel like she had as many moments to shine in this one because she's kind of the spotlight of the first one, and in this one she doesn't come in until halfway through, and then she's got to share spotlight with another android or robot or technology or whatever you want to call it. But she was good. I like the performance. I know it's somebody that's doing the voice and it's somebody that's doing the actual body.
Yeah.
But I think it comes together nicely.
Yeah, I think that she is, she's an enjoyable character. She's got that, like, she can be, creepy or whatever, but she's also just kind of witty and sarcastic and stuff. And
in this one, like, you have to buy that she, can go from this murderous, like, doll that's trying to kill everybody to somebody that actually does care about them and is trying to help them. And I think she does a good job convincing you that she's changed. Yeah. I believe M3GAN, that she changed for the better.
Yeah. So, overall, it was fun. Maybe a little bit disappointed though. And then I would say you could probably wait till it comes out on streaming to watch, or physical.
Yeah, I don't know if I could say go out and spend, $16 a ticket to go watch M3GAN 2.0 in the theaters, but it was fun. I'll say this. If you liked the trailer, I think you'll get some enjoyment out of the movie. If you thought the trailer looked stupid, then you're not going to like the movie. Yeah. Pretty much is where I come in.
And then one more thing. So there was not an end credit scene. Do you think that we'll get another M3GAN?
So I saw a report. I don't know how credible this was, but the director, I think, is Gerard Johnston. He said there's ideas for 5 more M3GAN films.
Okay. Well, so, that reminds me. I will say,
I don't know if they'll get it since this one didn't do too well, but who knows? Maybe they budget it good enough to where they'll break even and they'll still make them. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I will say, though, that there is a spinoff coming called Soulmate. Do you remember hearing about that?
Oh, no, I don't.
Yeah. There is a spinoff coming, and it's supposed to be like a take on, like, an adult robot and, like, romantic, romantic relationship kind of thing.
All I was going to say is I hope that if they got 5 more ideas, I hope they go more back to the basics. Yeah. For the next one, take it more back to the horror roots, because I think that's what the people want.
And I think
this is a fun experiment. I appreciate filmmakers experimenting, but take it back to what we did in the first one.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, is I think it's okay to experiment when you're starting like a franchise, but if you learn something's not working, like, don't be don't be stubborn about it. Like,
Yeah.
go back to what worked,
Yeah, take it back to the basics and inject even more horror elements into this to the next one. So, but that's our thoughts on M3GAN 2.0. Let us know in the comment section below if you saw it. What are your thoughts? Also, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.